99.9 Punk World Radio FM. We are live right here on this Sunday evening, and we have Queens, New York's own. We have Dead on a Friday right here live. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
Yeah.
Mark's doing the best.
Yeah, Mark is definitely feeling it.
I'm having a good time. My assistant's right here.
There's a person behind you, Mark.
I got assistants.
Oh.
I see. You have a cat.
I have several cats.
Okay.
And a little squid.
Well, I have to ask, who did you get first, the cats or the squid? Like, which one came first in the pet tree?
I mean, it was definitely the cats, and then they told me that they're sick of fighting with each other and they want a squid.
Well, at least the squid doesn't, puke all over your house, right?
Oh, but they're full of ink.
that is true, yeah. I mean, I'd rather scrub puke than ink, so I mean, yeah, fair enough.
Honestly, I'm right there.
But I know you guys are busy individuals, so I'm going to jump right into this. I got to take you back to the beginning of Dead on a Friday, and I have to ask, like, how did you three actually first meet and form this iconic band?
Oh, that's a trick question because we didn't. Dave.
Well, let me tell you a tale. It goes all the way back to 2002. That's when the band was started, and these guys weren't in the band yet. So I started back then, totally different members and everything. We had lots of different lineup changes and all that. Carl came into the band around 2016, right?
Yes. Yep. Early 2016. Yep.
2016. Mark was 2019. So Mark's still like relatively the new guy, but I've been doing this for 700 years and had many, many different members. All the way back at Sam Ash. That's how, no online Craigslist stuff like that. I was actually like drawing a flyer like musicians wanted for a punk rock band. But those guys are all dead now. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, dead to you, I guess, No,
I'm still friends with almost everybody that's been in the band,
They died on different days of the week, like not Friday, so it just wasn't working out.
But yeah, I mean, it's been around over 20 years, just not in this full lineup, this incarnation.
Because when you drew those flyers up like 20 plus years ago and you put them out, did you get any horror stories? Like, how did you meet any crazy people that were like, that really wanted to join Dead on a Friday, but you're like, man, you're too much? Because I've heard some like horror stories with those wanted dads, man.
I mean,
horror stories or horror?
Actually, a little bit of both, surprisingly, with the W or with the H. A little bit of both, actually, surprisingly.
I mean, yeah, they were crazy and they joined. So I just chose like the worst people. And then I keep surrounding myself with the worst people to be in bands with. So as evident today. No, there wasn't too many horror stories. I mean, there was like a couple crank calls here and there. And the worst you would get is like you would try out with someone and there just wouldn't be any chemistry or just like they couldn't play that well. Everybody was like fairly normal. I mean, Carl, do you remember when we were trying out drummers? I mean, Mark was the 12th or 13th drummer that we tried out.
Did we hit double digits? I don't remember hitting double digits. I mean,
it was a lot. There was that one guy who was like really angry. Do you remember that?
Like that was me.
Strong or something.
It was a real like beneath the surface kind of anger.
It was bubbling.
That like
I have like above and below the surface anger.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
It
was weird.
Is he like a NPC or something? I feel like he's doing the same loop.
The person behind you, Mark.
Yeah.
There's nobody behind me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it is. Do you have some kind of background? I'm sorry, we're derailing this. Please. Next.
I will admit, I'm actually intrigued because I will admit I'm seeing someone move on Mark's screen as well, but I don't know if he's like just ribbing us or what, but I'm actually intrigued.
It's best not to not to entertain these types of things. Should be fine.
No, entertain me, please. I need to be entertained.
But no, Dave, I do have a very early on question because I do know Mark and Carl weren't in the band at this time. But in 2004, Dead on a Friday actually released a debut EP titled Something's Wrong. Looking back 21 years ago, I was wondering if you can actually shed some light on this phenomenal project. Of course, with it being 20 plus years, do you have any plans to kind of re-release a remastered version on vinyl for the newer fans that might not have had the opportunity to enjoy this album way back in the day?
I've
So,
never
I don't
even
know
heard
how
of
you
this.
know that. Maybe you saw it on Discogs.
I did see it on Discogs, yeah.
Sometimes I'll Google the band myself and be like, how the hell does anyone know about that? That's actually the second EP I ever did. There was an EP before that. They're both terrible, and they're never going to be heard from ever again. I'd prefer if nobody ever heard them. But some of those songs did get reworked and just kind of recorded better and performed better for the first album. So about half of that material showed up on our first full-length Hope It Was Worth It in 2007. But yeah, that stuff is garbage. I hope nobody ever hears it.
I didn't even know it existed until right now. So,
well,
I did see a few of them actually for sale on Discogs. So I mean, if you want a piece of Dead on a Friday history, I think this is your time to actually break out the wallet because you heard it here first. They're not re-releasing it.
I mean, me personally, I really only like the stuff that I'm drumming on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think Mark, you should have it any other way, dude. I mean, if you're not drumming on it, why should you like it, right?
And yeah, so I really only have like 4 albums in my whole like discography that I go through on the subway when I'm going to work.
yeah, I'm the same way with music in general. If I'm not on it, then
What's the point?
who cares?
Yeah.
I hate listening to myself. So I'm good.
So when you guys aren't listening to yourselves, are there any bands you actually enjoy when you're not listening to yourselves?
You guys take it. Carl, take the
I
lead.
know Carl's got an answer.
Sure. Yeah, let's see, big bands for me. Propagandy is probably my favorite band. Rush is very close. Bad Religion from back in the day, and just, who else? What else do I listen to?
Well, the fact that you
days?
like Bad Religion is why you're in the band.
That's true. There's a lot of that. But yeah, I only listen to Rush and Propaganda.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Mark, do you?
I will admit, I'm actually super surprised you said Rush.
Oh, really?
I think just the fact that Canadian and, it's kind of like old school classic rock. I mean, you can't go wrong with Rush, but I'm Canadian. I physically feel like I have to say I like Rush.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
My Lady Peace.
Hell yeah, dude.
Propaganda is Canadian too, right?
Yes. I think I only like Canadian progressive rock music.
I know what bands Mark likes.
Go ahead, Dave. Tell me what I like.
I was thinking it'd be funny if we answered for each other, like favorite band.
That's a great idea.
Well, you should have said that before
Go
I
ahead,
answered.
Mark Drummer.
I just thought of it now.
Do it.
I was slow on the uptake. Avenged Sevenfold, that's one of them, right?
I do actually love Avenged Sevenfold.
What was the other one you like? That's the only one I remember.
Wow, that was a good suggestion, Dave, to answer that one.
Yeah, you really committed and went far with that in like a good way.
Look, I don't have props and like bits that I've worked out before, like Mark has, and like animals. I'm just doing what I can. It looks like a real madhouse over there.
I don't talk about it all.
Oh, okay.
And also, speaking of great bands as well, throughout the history of Dead on a Friday, you guys had the opportunity to provide tour support for many legendary hardcore bands, from the Vibrators, the Independents, and tons of others. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about having the opportunity to work alongside all these bands, and of course, like, what are your most memorable moments of just sharing the stage with these incredible acts?
I mean, a lot of that stuff happens just by being in New York, and touring acts come through, and there's a whole bunch of like support that they need to open, like usually local bands, and just from years of playing and talking to promoters and kind of being in the clubs and everything. I don't remember any of those shows. I've been doing this 22 years. It all blends together. My brain has died. But it was pretty cool that we did Fest 15, 16, and we played across the street where Propaganda was playing. And then after the set, Carl ran across the street. It was like 3:00 in the afternoon.
That's true. And I told them they went up against us on our time slot and destroyed us.
But I mean, I think, I don't know. A lot of those shows were before these guys were in the band, and I'm sure we'll have more after where we're opening, for larger acts. And we just try to do our best and play a good show and play the set that we worked on. And just
hopefully we try not to send them home feeling like we blew them off the stage.
Yeah, we don't want to embarrass them.
Pretty standard, right?
You don't want to make them feel like they're dead on a Friday,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, Carl, when you actually ran across the stage to actually chat with Propaganda, what did they actually say to you? Like, did you actually get a chance to speak with them, or did they kind of brush you off when you kind of told them that?
Yeah, they were like, "Who's this guy?" No, look, I just punished them. They're very nice, and I said, hey, we played at the same time as you. You should care about that. And they don't care. And they were very nice and said, oh, that's cool. And I think we chatted about the band that was on right afterwards. And that was it. Cool people, nice people, Canadian. So I think they have to be, but yeah.
And also, May 22nd, 2015, you guys actually released a record called Thanks for Nothing on VLE Records that consists of 13 songs. I was wondering, how did you guys actually get discovered by that label? And of course, what was it like just working alongside Oakland, California's finest?
That was VLE Records was through friends of ours in a band called Flat Broke. Again, unfortunately, it was before Mark and Carl were in the band.
I was there.
He was on the tail end of that album, so he wasn't actually on it. But yeah, Flat Broke was a band that hit us up. They were from Detroit. They would contact us every time that they came through to New York. I mean, speaking of memorable gigs, that was one of the only ones that was like a true New York experience. Like, I don't know what other people's perceptions of New York were, but before they got to play that set, there was a full bar fight, complete with people getting knocked out with pool cues and, cops coming and everything else. And I said, at that point, we've been playing 10, 15 years, whatever it was. And I said, that actually doesn't happen. And I don't know why the first time you guys came to New York, they didn't get to play because the cops just swarmed the place. But that was actually, that was very scary to have people like breaking bar bottles and like a real, action movie type of dangerous situation. So that band came through a couple of times. We played with them. Greg from that band started a record label called VLE. And then I kind of like ignored it at first because I didn't know like how serious he was about it. And then he like sent us a full like breakdown of everything we're going to do and the contracts and the whole thing. And it was cool to be on that label. It was, that actually Carl started at the band. Carl started in the band when we made our first music video for that record label. And that was like sort of one of the early things he did with us. And going to Fest was again through VLE Records. So yeah, it was a really cool opportunity. And I still am in contact with Greg. I hope he comes to New York again soon. It's been a little while since I've seen him. Last time he was here, took him out.
Yeah, that was the era of me not having done any of the work but reaping the benefits.
I think that's a good position to be in.
Right.
It's my favorite thing to do.
And also, speaking of doing the work and also reaping the benefits as well, August 25th of 2023, you guys released your most recent album titled Limited Time Offer. That it consists of 13 songs again.
Okay, now we're cooking, guys. Let's go.
There you go.
Gotta build it up, man. Gotta build it up. But I will say, Mark, Carl, I gotta ask you guys this because I feel like Dave did majority of the talking here. Tell us a bit more about this album that you guys were actually originally a part of for the first time within Dead on a Friday history.
Yeah, well, I can. The writing process was very, very long, even since I think we had a bunch of the demos before Mark was in the band. I'm sorry?
We had about half of them, I said.
Yeah. And I feel like we lost our last drummer, and we spent a good while, me and Dave, in a room just yelling at each other about the songs until we hammered them out. And then Mark joined, and Dave kept doing the demos, and yeah, we eventually over years got it all together. What's that, Mark?
Talk about how happy you were when you finally found me.
Well, of course, we were thrilled to have someone of your good looks and technical prowess, and
I guess
joining
that's
us. And
a cool response.
You're welcome. And once all the songs came together and we got some momentum, it was good. Great recording process, fast. I think we were all really on our game, and
Especially me.
yeah, really, really happy with it. I mean, I think it was sounds like Dead on a Friday, but I love hearing mine and Mark's influences complementing the original structure of the band and the songwriting. And very, very thrilled with how it came out.
I would agree with that. It was a very fun process, and Dave. I mean, Dave is he's a brilliant songwriter. He's got endless ideas, and almost all of them are good. Some of them are not. Everybody, I just want you to know that.
Sure. I'm
but-
human.
I guess you could say that. But he just seems to just never run out of songs to put out, and he just gives them to us like little gifts, and we put our little spin on it and try to enhance that, and Limited Time Offer came out.
And also, December 23rd of 2024, you guys posted a statement on your social media page stating first demo for the next record done, new album coming 3075.
Yes.
I was wondering, since it is now April, can you actually give us an update on this up and coming record? And of course, what can the Dead on a Friday fans expect from this new record when it does drop to the general public?
I'll field this one, boys. I could say we're definitely on track for 3075 release. We may actually be even a little bit early, ahead of schedule of that. I was demoing a song today. We're doing everything in his power to distract me.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I know it's an illusion. I'm gonna look at DJ Immortal.
You should.
I'm looking right at you. This is just you and me right now.
I mean, look at them.
We have actually about a quarter of the record now in the works or demoed. Finishing up demo number 3. Carl is writing a song for the new record, which I'm really excited about. 10 years ago, I think I would be very worried about letting go of control a little bit and having someone else do songwriting duties. But Carl has full music for a song that I'm going to be writing lyrics over from scratch. So actually really cool exercise. I've never worked that way before. I've usually just kind of done everything myself. And then Mark has something to say.
No, I don't. No, I was just getting my to go away.
Gotcha. So it's going pretty well. I would like to have it all demoed this year and then maybe get back into the studio next year. There was a gap of about 7 years or 6 or 7 years between the last album and this album. and I'd really like, now that we have the steady lineup, hopefully no tragedies or catastrophes in the world or in our personal lives.
Why would you put that out there even?
So barring any of that stuff happening, and we have a studio that we really like to record in, I think we can go in a lot faster. A lot of these songs I've had kicking around for a long time because the last album, in between those albums, was so long, and even I was telling the guys, solving problems with the songs from the last album, I would write new ones to kind of just like clear my head. And something that didn't work for one song, I'll just, all right, cut it out of that song, put it into something else, put it on the next record. It's not working here. Let's stop trying to put a square peg in a round hole. So I mean, I'm hopeful that we can really practice these songs from now until the end of the year. Go into 2026. What do you say, fellas?
Yeah, that's the hope. I mean, if Mark is okay, then are you okay over there, Mark?
I'm good.
Good.
But before we actually part ways here tonight, obviously I know how to follow Dead on a Friday across all social media platforms. But for the individuals here in Canada that don't know how do we go about following you three across all social media platforms?
It's all at Dead on a Friday. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can also go to deadonafriday.com. Everything is linked up there. Merch, shows, all the information that you need.
I gotta say, guys, thank you so much for giving not only myself, but the radio station airways a bit of your time. It was an honor chatting with you three, and definitely have yourselves a phenomenal night.
Thanks so much, Mr. Immortal.